But her eczema was quite severe, like, so it is a big change for her.
Literally from her scalp to her toes. Claire, it was unbelievable. Um, her wee fist behind her ears, her very neck.
Hmm.
She had sores that size on her
Yeah.
back, maybe up to 8 to 10. We used to call her Blue, God love her. She used to scratch, you know, at the door on the back. She used to be like the big bear out of the Jungle Book. And but her legs and her arms were, oh my God, they were awful. There was times where she genuinely couldn't walk, where she was that sore and cracked and open and weeping. And I remember telling you before about, see, trying to get the clothes off her in the morning. That
Hmm.
was, it was heartbreaking. I had to put her under like a lukewarm bath just to get the clothes off her where they had stuck there
Yeah.
through the night. And it was torturous for her. But as a mommy, you probably know yourself, the emotions. I felt like the world's worst mommy, the world's worst mommy. But it affected everybody, do you know, because
Hmm.
the younger girls, they thought I was hurting her. They didn't understand. And the older boy, now he's 14, and he just broke down after so many weeks. He was like, that's lousy. And I
Uh-huh.
said, it is, you know, because she is only 2 and she can't tell you, you know, but getting the suit just, it stopped the scratching. It allowed for healing, which
Hmm.
was massive, absolutely massive. She can't, I do have the wee suit here. I'll bring it under the screen in a minute. But and it's minging, like you can see she wears it. She loves putting it on. There's no bother. Absolutely. Like she loves putting it on. We keep them all her wee stuffs in a wee drawer in the living room. So I'd say to her, right, go get your jammy Joes now, and away she goes, and she'll bring it out and she'll bring her cream out. Um, but even as far as putting the creams on, you can imagine yourself putting steroids on an
Hmm.
open wound. She used to run away, she used to scream. Her whole mood then the rest of the day was terrible. Not I can understand why she was the way she was, or she wasn't speaking at all, which as a mama then you're kind of going, right, how do I fix this? What do I do here? Is it a development delay? Is it an issue that she's going to have just growing up? It was the skin,
Hmm.
which blew my mind. She is full sentences. She literally the other day belted out jingle bells from start to finish, and we were like, you know,
Wow.
our actual development has been massive from the suit, absolutely massive. Um, then she had a wee pediatrician's appointment there last week, and he was just dumbfounded at her skin. Absolutely, and her allergy nurse was there, absolutely amazed. So he's took the name down of the suit, which I was delighted for because if they were readily available too, I just think it has, I call it the bee's knees. Like, I just think it has been massive. And my own mood as well, let alone the child. I felt so down, really
Mm.
down. I felt like a terrible parent because she was taking up so much of my time. You didn't have time for the Allerweens, which it was out of everybody's control and they understood. But she's a joy now to be around. Do you
Mm.
know? And people do take her now where they were feared before because there's so many creams and she's off all steroids too, which is something I really want to say, which
Wow.
is fabulous, absolutely
Oh,
fabulous.
yeah, I'm
She
really
hasn't
pleased to
had
hear
a
that.
steroid since I would say May, June.
Hmm.
She hasn't had one steroid or an antibiotic cream.
That's amazing, Maisha. It's
Fabulous, like, aye.
brilliant. And it just shows you how your body's so really connected. Like, one thing can affect so many other things, in your
I didn't
system.
think cognitively she was obviously in a lot of pain that she was just focused on that all day, every day. No,
Mm.
he's like her mama, she doesn't shut up. No, it's great.
Here, it's a good way to be. So it is.
God love
Yeah.
her. She has just come on so, like, I have her on a wee skull and everything now, where before she has allergies too, which keeping away from them do help the skin.
Hmm.
But trying to get her on. We do like 2-year programs and 3-year programs down here, and then it's the nursery. She's actually on a wee 2-year program now, and they're just, of course, no bother. They're great with her allergies. I send her down. She has a wee natural cream now that I give her. It's just moisturising and antibacterial, but she'll ask to get that put on, and she wears her wee mittens down to school, and she's just no bother, and she doesn't know. Someone says to her one day, why do you wear them? And she says, them's my gloves. She's just no bother at all. But it's just the joy. You're getting a wee personality now. You can have fun with her. Especially this kind of way, her skin would have been more dry, more cracked. She's out playing. It's a joy. Like Claire, I can't express the difference in her. It's night and day. Absolutely night and day.
Oh, that's great. That's great. No, I'm genuinely delighted for you because it's hard being there and like you don't know how to help. You just want to fix it, don't you, when your kid's got something like that, and you nearly feel guilty for not being able to. So
but even how my wee mood went down, I felt I don't know. I was just so down, really, really down. I'm back to my mad old crazy self, which is phenomenal. Because as you say, you're sitting going, right, I have to do all these creams on her. I have to, not she wasn't sleeping during the night, which, yourself, a half an hour sleep for any mammy is madness, but 3, 4, 5 hours a night. I always say I can take on the world if I've had a night's sleep, which was obviously the same for her, but it was keeping the allergens up too, which wasn't fair. Not, it wasn't her fault. But they were going to school and exhausted. She was up screaming, crying at night. She was itching and scratching where the soots. She can't get at herself, but she genuinely hasn't had an open wound now. What are we in now? December. I would say since, like, she'd hand, foot and mouth about 4 weeks ago, and it cleared up within a couple of days. I was wearing the soot on her too,
right.
She couldn't match.
Yeah.
She
was
couldn't
that itchy too? Yeah.
Right, that's really it's actually really contagious too. It was all in the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, the wee soles of her feet. But because of the eczema, it was right up to your wee groin from her toes.
Yeah.
And from her wee fingers right up to your shoulders. So I just kept wearing the soot on her, and it was done within 3 days. It was
Brilliant.
crazy. Her wee mood was off, don't get me wrong, but I thought the skin would have went 10 times worse. Yourself when they get any sort of like viral or bacterial or whatever. So that was the last time she had an open wound, but before that, I would say maybe June again. Crazy,
Brilliant.
absolutely mind blowing.
That's brilliant. So it is. Like, would you continue to use the soot then? Is that part of your?
I do, and I'll tell you why. Claire, I feel like it locks in moisture. As I say, it's a wee natural cream I'm using on her at the minute, but her skin would be without just the soot on its own. Her skin is soft, but that kind of, oh God, how would you explain? It's nearly like sandpaper-ish. Does that make sense? Like bumpy, but she's still soft. Now you see with the cream and the soot, her skin's like ours.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It really locks in the goodness from the cream and stuff, but also to stop her scratching at night. Because I do think my sister was the same, and she always says the same, which I do agree. The scratching nearly gets like a habit, and it just cuts that out. She can't get at herself. Now, what I love is where you have put this for the hand, which mommies will totally understand when they see it. It's not on the bend of the elbow where she can pull it out and get a good scratch at herself. She doesn't even try with a soot on. It's just nice and tight and snuggles her. And I do think it helps with the itch. I genuinely do. Because it's not, when you're wearing loose clothing, it's moving, it's giving you a wee bit of an itch where this can't. Because it's just so tight, dear. I love it. I can't sing it enough. Like,
brilliant. Yeah. And do you know what? A lot of the
Inside
advice
out.
is to wear baggy clothes, but
Aye,
I don't
which,
think, I think say it being on the skin, it's
yes,
not moving anywhere. It's not aggravating
100%.
them anymore. And if you've
Yes,
got a
I
nice
agree.
material that helps their skin breathe and all, it's not,
Yeah, I
um,
really, really agree with that. The baggy clothing would, no, it would aggravate her so much.
yeah,
Um,
totally,
but,
totally. Oh,
but
well, no,
even
I'm like
the
delighted.
seam being on the outside, I don't know if you can see that. The wee seams is on the outside. So you have none of that. There's no labels on it, which I have to cut the labels off because they do aggravate her of
Hmm.
everything, clothes wise. Um, but it's great because I can wear the wee tights on her and stuff now that I couldn't before because they would have just stuck to her wee skin. Um, she's all girly in her wee bows and oh, it's just I don't know. It's just been great getting it.
Oh
Um,
no, that's great. And it's like obviously from where she was at the start of the year to where she is now, that's brilliant for you and for her
you
too.
know, I wished if I did I broke my last phone and I had photos. I wished I had them photos because it is unbelievable. Like her skin is genuinely like mine now, where before she was open, no oozing. Oh my God, it was heartbreaking. Where she's just
Yeah.
oh
I think
fantastic.
you sent in some photos of her before. That's maybe the ones you're talking about, is it?
That's
Aye.
them. Where
Yeah.
she actually ended up in the hospital with that. And that's why certain schools couldn't take her on. They said for risk of infection, which you can understand because the allergies too to keep an eye on. But now because her skin is clear, like she's been in that school now about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, she's on 90-12, Monday to Friday, and she just loves it. Oh,
Yeah.
and look, I know this is so silly, but I've actually been able to get my nails done. I know that sounds so silly, but as mommies, I couldn't
Yeah.
before because with the creams, if I was scripting her, do you know, and like
Hmm.
that's massive to me. Being able to get my nails done, it's just a wee
Yeah.
Christmas treat or a wee birthday treat to me. But
Aye. And it's even getting the time to do it,
it
isn't
has,
it? And
you know,
feeling you can take the time.
oh my God, it has literally. I know it sounds very corny, say, but it has changed my life.
Yeah.
It really has, midways. But even with the child, she is just a treat, absolute
Hmm.
treat. We now were before it was just, oh God, we have to do this today again. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do her. It was just a mental load for me every day, and then it was 4 or 5 times a day where you were
Hmm.
doing the cream, where it's one application a day I'm doing now, and that's just to keep the moisture. But
Hmm.
as far as the soot's concerned, like she is just no open wounds, nothing, no oozing. It has changed my life. It really has.